Right, I've hit the road, gone about half an hour, and it started pissing with rain. The gear, at least on the surface, is already wet, but should all be dry underneath, which is at least something. I've changed my route a little bit. I was planning to go through the Bayerische Walds and along the Chiemsee. I had a big fancy route planned, but given the weather conditions and the fact that I set off so late, because I just had a lot of stuff to do around the apartment, it would take 6 hours to get to the destination now, and it's already 2 o'clock, so that's really not an option. So going a shorter route, just pulled in here to adjust some things. I've got to put the media mod away because it's not actually the media mod on the GoPro, because it's not actually fully waterproof. And very important, guys, really recommend this to all of you. If you're motorcycling and it's raining, always tuck your gloves on the inside, because otherwise what happens is the water rolls down the coat and straight into the inside and gradually soaks through right to your fingertips, so it's really horrible. So really always make sure you close the gauntlet and you pull the cuff of your jacket over the top, and then you will be fine. Alright, I'm going to sort this out and I will see you guys in a little bit.
I didn't film much on the way to camp that day, as the roads were not very spectacular. I did, however, find a beautiful camping spot using the Road Surfer app again. The destination for this evening was a peaceful farmyard in a very small village called Eppenschlag in Bavaria, near the Czech border. I got a little bit lost trying to find the place, as you can see. Despite Google Maps having a high coverage in Germany, this place was so small it was sending Google Maps crazy. Eventually, however, success. I have arrived at camp for the evening, and I have three very lovely companions here to keep me company. Meet Boris, Heinrich, and just there in the back, that is Bob. They've just come to say hi, and they liked having their head stroked. Don't you, Boris? Yeah. These 2 weeks on my own are starting to get to me, and perhaps I'm going insane. Hi. There you go. Hi. 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 Don't worry. guys, and welcome to the luxury cabin that is the sleeping cabin, my tent. It's looking a little bit untidy right now, so I'm fearful to show you guys. I just had a very nice evening around the fire. Took a while to get the fire going because the wood was quite wet, but managed to get it going in the end. Watched the England-Germany game, cracking second half. Now I've moved inside because it has started raining. But I had a really good day of it actually, and it only rained briefly whilst I was on the bike, thankfully. Tomorrow and Wednesday, it looks like it's going to be bucketing with rain again. So the biggest challenge I think I'll have is packing up tomorrow morning, because packing up in the rain is tough. To try and keep everything dry and clean, essentially impossible. So I have to see. I'm going to have some breakfast here. I'm sleeping on a farm with some lovely little ponies and Shetland ponies, just literally meters away from the tent. Super sweet. And there's a little Gasthof on site, and they offer breakfast. So I'm going to go along there tomorrow morning for some fresh coffee and some freshly baked rolls. And if it's pouring with rain, either I'll wait for a little gap in the rain, or I'll just have to bite the bullet and tidy up when it's raining. But it has this whole setup, and the weather has got me reflecting on whether I have the best setup by having this tunnel tent, which is so large and takes such a long time to clear up, and is always wet in the morning because it's the outer layer obviously getting exposed. So I've only just bought this as well, so it's just a thought for the future. But I think I might move to a setup with a tarp, a large tarp, 4x4 meters I'm thinking, and then park all of my gear underneath that, including my motorbike, so I can pack my motorbike. Even if it's raining, I can pack my motorbike in the dry. And then I'd buy a very small one-man tent that's literally like just about the size of a human and about 70 centimeters in height. So much smaller than this, much smaller pack size. And then to use that solely for sleeping. And then if you ever, if it's raining and you want to sit outside, you want to cook, or you want to sit and read a book, you're still protected, you're still covered over underneath the top. And that way, when you pack up in the morning, your tent isn't wet, even if it's been raining. So yeah, that's what I've been mulling over. But anyway, I'm rambling on. What am I going to do now? I'm going to set up my little sleeping space, tidy up a little bit because it's a bit messy. And then I'm going to snuggle in for the night. I'm going to get my head torch on, and I'm going to keep reading my book. So, good night, guys. I will see you in the morning.
Good morning, guys. So as you can hear, it is pouring with rain outside. And it did pour with rain the whole night long. So it was quite loud in the tent. I did manage to get some shut-eye, but I could definitely have. Let's just say I've had better night's sleep. It's now 7:20 in the morning. I'm in that sort of challenge phase where you have to force yourself out of bed, face the reality of the wetness. But at least as a reward for waking up and getting up is the coffee and the fresh bread. And officially check out is 10 in the morning, which I haven't once on this trip managed to pack everything up, clean it all, pack it all and then strap it on the bike and leave by 10, not a single time. So I find it highly unlikely today that I will negotiate a late checkout.
So I've had my breakfast, which was absolutely delicious. 2 thumbs up. Really freshly baked croissants, fresh coffee, really nice muesli and yogurt bowls, and like fresh organic eggs. Oh, absolutely glorious. And I was just reading my book peacefully in the breakfast room, waiting for a little break in the rain so that I could head and pack up the bike. I saw a little gap. I ran out. I managed to get one bag strapped to the bike before it started bucketing again. So now I've closed the tent up again and I'm just waiting it out. There's not really much else I can do. Just for a moment, I'm going to see if the rain quietens down a little bit, and if it does, which hopefully it will, then I can pack up the tent. But yeah, I think once I'm on the road, I will get quite wet. Then I need to think about what I'm going to do tonight, because I would be building a wet tent in the evening. We'll see. Not the easiest of weather conditions to camp in. So yeah, I'm going to wait patiently, and then hopefully I can hit the road. See you guys in a bit. The road was very slippery from the rain and the golden autumnal leaves that had made themselves at home on the tarmac. It was like riding on ice. I had to take it easy, especially into the corners, and the going was slow. As I rode, the relentless rain seeped through to my skin, and gradually I started to freeze. Straining and shivering with the weather, with the wind blowing my head from side to side, and after a poor night's sleep and feeling tired, I desperately pressed on into the Czech Republic. Gradually, though, the weather wore me down, and I was running on my energy reserves. As I crossed the border, I considered my options for sleeping that evening. If I camped, I would arrive wet and cold and have to erect a wet tent in the pouring rain, slither into a damp sleeping bag and look forward to a cold night. And honestly, all I could think of was a warm bath. The steam rising from the lusciously toasty water, the instant warming of my skin as the perfumed soap surrounded me. I found a guest house near the German border that proudly displayed pictures of a bathtub on their website. I scrapped the planned picturesque route for the fastest one possible and headed there as fast as the Enfield would take me. After 2 more hours of riding in the rain, I finally arrived at the guest house. Was there a bathtub? No, there wasn't. Was the picture misleading? Yes, incredibly so. Was I disappointed? Yes. Did I scream out in rage and kick a garbage bin? No, of course I didn't. I'm not a savage. Anyway, because I had arrived in such good spirits, I didn't feel like filming a sign-off that evening. So instead, you've got me. I hope you enjoyed watching, and tune in next Friday for the last episode of the season. In this one, I ride the sweetest roads of the trip so far, and of course, the rain reared its beautiful head once again. Now please excuse me, I'm off to take a bath.